Mom yelled, "Your kid took the missing $10,000 from the safe." My sister snapped. "We saw him near it." My son looked terrified. I said nothing, just dropped the security footage drive on the table. 5 minutes later, her husband's face turned white. That was the moment my family began to unravel. And for once, I didn't rush to pick up the pieces. It all started the week before Mom's birthday. She wanted everyone to gather at the old house, the same one where I grew up, where she still kept the safe Dad had installed years ago before he passed. My sister, Claire, and her husband, Nathan, had moved back into town recently, the kind of return that felt less like family bonding and more like quiet surveillance. I brought my 15-year-old son, Liam. He's quiet, polite, too thoughtful for his age. Ever since my divorce, he's been my shadow, patient, observant, and smarter than anyone gives him credit for. We arrived with a cake and flowers. Claire arrived with tension. Dinner was awkward from the start, the kind where everyone smiles with their teeth but not their eyes. Mom kept talking about Dad's legacy. Nathan bragged about his new business deals. And Claire made small digs at my life as a single parent. Then came dessert, and the explosion. "Mom, where's your cash envelope?" Nathan asked, like he'd been waiting for the cue. Mom frowned. "In the safe, why?" Claire leaned forward. "It's not there anymore." Her tone was rehearsed. My stomach sank. $10,000, Nathan added. "Gone. We counted last night when we helped Mom check some paperwork." Mom's face went pale. "I only gave the combination to family. The last person I saw near the safe was..." She hesitated. "Liam." Every head turned. Liam froze, fork halfway to his mouth. "What? I didn't..." "Claire saw you near the study this morning," Nathan interrupted smoothly. "Didn't you, honey?" Claire folded her arms. "He was standing right outside the door." I felt my pulse in my throat. "He was charging his phone in the hallway, next to the safe." Nathan smirked. "How convenient." Mom pushed her chair back, trembling. "Why would he even be in there?" "I wasn't." Liam's voice cracked. "I swear, Grandma, I didn't take anything." My hands were shaking, but not from fear, from rage. I'd seen this pattern before. When Dad died, they blamed me for not helping with the finances. When Mom lost her jewelry 2 years ago, they pointed at the housekeeper. The real thief? Nathan. I knew it even then, but there was never proof, until now I stood up. My chair scraped loudly against the tile. "Mom," I said evenly, "before we keep throwing accusations, maybe we should check something." "What?" she asked, voice trembling. "The security footage." Nathan's smile faltered. "Oh, come on," Claire scoffed. "You think we're being ridiculous?" "No," I said. "I think I'll let the footage speak." I walked to my bag, unzipped it slowly, and pulled out a small black USB drive. Nathan's eyes followed it like it was a loaded weapon. "Nothing," I said calmly, placing it on the table. "Just drop the security footage drive on the table." The silence was heavy enough to crush the air. 5 minutes later, Nathan's face turned white. When I installed the new cameras for Mom last year, I made sure the system backed up to the cloud and to my private drive. Mom didn't even know. I wanted to keep her safe. On the footage, time-stamped exactly 1 day before the dinner, Nathan was the one entering the study. Alone. He opened the safe, stuffed something into his jacket, and walked out whistling. The room fell silent as I pressed pause. "Still want to talk about Liam?" I asked softly. Nathan's lips parted, but no sound came. Claire's eyes darted between us, confusion, fear, and humiliation swirling together. "Nathan?" she whispered. He stood, knocking over his chair. That footage could be fake." Mom's voice was cold and sharp. "Nathan, sit down." He didn't. He stormed toward the door, but Mom's housekeeper, Maria, was already there holding the phone. "I called the police when she showed the footage," Maria said quietly. "They'll be here soon." Nathan froze. The silence that followed was suffocating, the kind that stretches seconds into hours. The cops came, took statements, and escorted Nathan out. Claire was crying, repeating that she didn't know. Mom sat on the couch, staring at the wall, as if she could still see Dad there, disappointed. Liam was quiet beside me, still trembling. I wrapped my arm around him. "You did good," I whispered. "I didn't do anything." "You stayed honest," I said. "That's more than most people in this room ever did." Weeks passed. Mom didn't call. Claire didn't text. And honestly, I preferred it that way. Then, one evening, there was a knock on my door. Mom stood there clutching a paper bag. Her eyes were red, her expression softer than I'd seen in years. "I brought dinner," she said simply. "Over takeout noodles." She apologized for believing them, for doubting Liam, for everything that happened after Dad's death. "I thought keeping peace meant keeping quiet," she said, "but all it did was make me blind." I didn't say anything. Forgiveness doesn't always need words. Before she left, she placed a small envelope on the counter. "For Liam," she said. Inside was a handwritten letter and a check made out to him. College savings. "For when you build your future," the note read. Not as payback, but as belief. 3 months later, Nathan's company collapsed. Embezzlement charges, unpaid debts, silent investors. The whole mess came crashing down. Claire filed for divorce. She tried to reach me once, but I didn't respond. Some debts don't need repayment, just distance. 1 year later, I got a call from a local news station. They wanted to feature me in a story about ordinary people using technology to fight injustice. They showed the footage, not of Nathan stealing, but of me standing firm for my son. Of proof over panic. The interviewer asked, "What motivated you to record that footage in the first place?" I smiled at the camera. "My father once told me, truth doesn't need defending. It just needs a witness." Months later, at a small award ceremony for community leadership, Mom sat front row, proud and tearful. Liam accepted a scholarship for his science project on data encryption. When he walked off stage, he hugged me. "We did it, Mom." "No," I said, smiling. "You did." Behind us, applause echoed. Genuine, not performative. And for the first time in years, it didn't sound like judgment. It sounded like peace. A few weeks later, I drove past Mom's house. The old safe was gone. A new one sat in its place, smaller, sturdier. When I asked her why she replaced it, she said, "Because I finally realized some things worth protecting aren't gold or cash. They're people," I smiled. "And trust?" She nodded. "That too." The last time I saw Nathan was on TV, in handcuffs, escorted by officers. The news ticker reading, "Local businessman charged with financial fraud and theft." Poetic justice, I thought. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't exposing someone. It's standing tall when the truth finally does it for you. Thanks for joining Revenge Reads, where truth might take its time, but it never forgets where it's owed. Subscribe, like, and share for more stories of justice, redemption, and strength.